The fifth and probably last Indiana Jones movie is closing in, will be in cinema end of June, starring of course Harrison Ford, now 81 years old, so kudos that he is willing to play a character again that the entire globe, perhaps the entire solar system just loves. I'm not an exception. I've watched the first three movies a dozen times and that mixture of intellect and drive made a deep impression. And so of course I was yelling through the house, Hamilton has made him a watch. Hamilton American Classic Boulton Quartz. Let's go over the specifications. We have a tank with a case width of 27mm and a length of 31.6. Thickness is 7.8mm and the lug width 18. The case wears a PVD plating in gold and has a mineral glass. It is waterproof up to 30 meters and inside we find a quartz movement. Price is 775 euros including VAT or 695 US dollars without VAT. So at first glance we see a 40s inspired tank with a typical minimalistic set of hands, these numerals straight out of Expressionism, lovely subdial and a railroad track as a minute scale. Remarkable is the case form, elegant with these curves and the excellent lug form. Organic, comfortable, measurements are in my eyes close to perfection. Keep in mind that these watches were made to appear small on the wrist, so they enlarged it only a tiny bit for modern taste, but it is still very slender. Lovely that they opted for gold, because it's flamboyant, fits the time. You find many golden and gold filled watches from that era in fact. Very nice is also the color of the dial, not yelling white, bit in direction eggshell, which goes so well together with the gold and the leather tone. Good gosh, look at these lugs, it's perfection. Also the crown with that double barrel structure. I'm deeply in love right now with that look here. And this is the Caseback, okay, functional. And here you see, by the way, very good, why I'm not the biggest fan of quick release spring bars for expensive watch straps. See these slits? The watch comes out now in the hot season and what will enter these slits? Salty sweat, exactly. Okay, but now to the real downsides. There are some. I don't mean the PVD plating. That is a fairly robust and good looking method, in my eyes comparable to gold filled, so a thick plating. No, my first minus here is the quartz movement. I'm not against quartz in general, but here it's simply not understandable that Hamilton uses quartz for a watch with a small second that will remind you, well, every second, that there's something in your watch that doesn't fit its style. In my eyes, it should be possible to put a simple hand-wound movement in a watch around the 700 mark. Second, mineral glass. Again, I don't see the reason. Plexi would have been an excellent choice for the vintage lovers, sapphire a reasonable alternative for the mass market. But mineral glass in year 2023 on a 700 euro watch? So after all, I see this as a great fun piece. But if you really dig it, perhaps it's wiser to hunt down an original Hamilton tank from the 50s. It is slightly younger, yes, but most likely in better shape. And often it still features the 40s design. I own one and it's one of my favorite watches. Surprisingly, it can be serviced because these little movements are built like tanks and they were produced in large numbers. But of course you have to be tolerant when it comes to patina. The real deal would be an NOS Hamilton from the 50s, but I think that will remain a dream for most of us. By the way, I've seen once a documentary about Spielberg and Indiana Jones, and what seems today as a very creative concept is in fact a reissue, the classic adventure and swashbuckler movie from 30s cinema. Spielberg was deeply in love with that, and really in that period, 30s, 40s, 50s, you find many sort of Indiana Jones movies, today mostly forgotten. So that's a nice job for you, dear viewer. Please give us your best Indiana Jones alternative movies in the comment section. Mine is slightly younger, The Mummy from '99 with Brendan Fraser. What's yours? And with that question, allow me to close this episode, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much and see you next Monday to Watch of the Week.